Keys to Success, number 69. I'm Dr. Martin Rutherford. I am a certified functional medicine practitioner and chiropractor since 1979.
Dr. Randall Gates, board certified chiropractic neurology.
So the last couple of weeks, we've decided to talk about some of the more common issues that challenge us to stay well. Last week, we talked about overdoing it, and that seems to have been well received, according to Dr. Gates. Mm-hmm. Today, we're going to talk about the biggest number one elephant in the room, not only just when it comes to holidays, but when it comes to life in general. Mm-hmm. But particularly the holidays, stress. We're going to talk about how a stress response can set off your symptoms, can maybe even set off an immune response that perpetuates beyond the holidays. And we're going to try to help you to just, I think most of our patients who have been through the program, now I understand there may be other people watching this now, okay, but most of our patients who've been through a program, I think are going to understand when we talk about stress.
I think so.
Okay.
I would hope so.
Since we've talked about it a lot through your program. So stress, things change during the holidays. We have to go out. We have to go to dinners. I'm like a mind-numbingly like go to bed at 10 o'clock type of guy. Get up and at the same time try to get my rest. For me, a big part of my staying well program is getting the proper amount of sleep. I don't like to have my schedules disturbed, so I don't want to be staying up until late on midnight. Or I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't eat anything. I have to go out to social events. It's just a tough time of the year. So I've had to learn to deal with that so that I can just kind of stay smooth through. I had a dinner the other night and everybody was like eating like real food, as many of our patients would put it. And I was eating little boiled potatoes with string beans and a vegetarian patty that I can have, and I can't have them all. Yeah. And a little mustard on it, because I can have mustard, but I can't have ketchup. And I'm watching everybody else drinking wine while I'm drinking my glass of water or goat milk or whatever it is. And that can, for me, it's okay. I'm teasing, okay? But I think it's a challenge for a lot of people.
It's a huge challenge, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I'm already starting to see it. It's December now, and the holiday stress is looming. As you're talking about, we have engagements not only.
Are you sure that isn't election stress?
Well, I'm not quite sure. And maybe
a lot of election stress.
Half of our patient population is unhappy, half is happy, but we won't go too much into that. But yeah, and we have the engagements, we have the buy-in of the presidents. A lot of patients may not get along so well with their family. Some do, but some don't. And so that can be stressful. And we treat a lot of patients. We treat a lot of patients who maybe have split families. So, the kids are going to be with the other spouse, and one individual is going to be alone. So there's just a lot of stress this time of year. I would say if you're feeling those effects of stress, let us know. We have some new strategies that we're using to calm down these effects of stress. We're using ashwagandha as an herb by itself, pretty powerfully, to help a lot of people with this issue. Being very focused on routine this time of year can also help, as Dr. Rutherford is saying. We're regimented creatures, so to speak, and we like to go to bed at the same time, get up at the same time, because there can be power in that routine. And we're not saying that everybody has to do that all the time, but a special focus this time of year could be really good, so that you keep your sleep going, because people are going to be out late, they're going to be drinking, they're going to overextend themselves, and you're going to have to get up early and go to work. And it's no surprise that lots of times people get sick this time of year because they're overextended and they're stressed. So it's December. We just wanted to warn you going into this holiday month to be aware of these factors. And if you have any feedback, let us know. Was there anything else you wanted to interject?
No. This is a subject you could go on for a long time. But stress, when you come in the door, the type of patient that is our patient population that consistently walks in the door has that chronic fight-flight syndrome, usually as a distinguishing feature as part of their clinical picture of what needs to happen to get well. When I do the report, when I sit with you and I say, here's what we found, here's how we formulated our diagnosis, here's our conclusion, and here's what your treatment's going to look like. And I'm usually hitting you with a lot of stuff that day, but in the end, you may remember me saying, if you have the stress response, and if I went through it with you to explain it to you, I usually will tell you, this is going to be a big part of you getting better, but it's going to be a humongous part of you staying better. Mm-hmm. Because stress responses don't just put out the cortisol that Dr. Gates talks about a lot. They put out adrenaline. They put out noradrenaline. They put out glucocorticoids. In other words, they affect your blood sugar. They put out the same thing that's in those EpiPens that stops people from having allergic responses. They control minerals distribution. They control your blood pressure, and on and on and on. I mean, it's a massive shot to the system. And if you have an autoimmune problem and it creates some sort of an inflammatory response, it can set that off. So just to get a little bit down to the science of it, so that you understand, people go, oh, stress, I know it's bad. Just know it can affect almost virtually every aspect of your physiology that there is. If you're having a bad day, you didn't go to sleep, you slept little because you're getting all the presents ready, or because you got to get ready for the office party, or you got to, now your threshold to withstand stress comes down a little bit more. Now somebody walks in, it's late, you forgot the thing, you go like this. Now your threshold goes like this. All of a sudden you feel like you're getting the flu. You need to stop. You stop right there and go, you know what? There's more important things. That more important thing is that I don't throw everything out the window I just got done doing for the last 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months, or last couple of years, and so on and so forth. So maybe if you think of it that way, give you a little bit more incentive to not feel guilty about thinking about yourself when it comes to these stresses, because sometimes you got to think about yourself when you have these things going on, and because it's better to have a healthy you around than not. And so stress is a big one. It's a big trigger, maybe the most common trigger of autoimmune problems. And so it's something that's not, it's something that's talked about all the time. So when things are talked about all the time, sometimes we don't give it the weight that we should, but we should. Okay. Mm-hmm. So
I think that pretty well says it.
Okay.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week.